Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boy Marco 2205 numbers after the name. A little Wasteland Wednesday, man. A little murder game over here on the Modern Warfare Remastered. Hashtag we ain't getting the DLC though. Nah, I mean, is the DLC? I guess at this point, I don't even have it written down the calendar because it's coming out for the PlayStation. I play on the Xbox anyway, but the DLC should be close to coming out here. But like I said, and here's the thing: is I made a video like last week talking about how like if you don't want to buy the DLC, and I think my exact word was like, if you don't want to buy the DLC, then don't buy it. That's as simple as that. Like, it's not too difficult. I don't think I'm gonna buy it, but I could definitely see myself on like a day, you know, like let's say I got like a weekend off or something, and I'm like chilling at the crib, and I'm like, you know what, man, let me just pop like these 10-15 bucks over here, get this DLC, man. I could definitely see me doing that. But so far, not convinced, not really selling me. And you know, the public outcry is for the most part. There isn't a response from Activision, but there isn't going to be a response from Activision. To me, it really comes down to how this next game sets up the next Call of Duty in terms of setting, in terms of location, in terms of the pricing model. You know, and it's interesting. It's interesting just the evolution of games in general. Where it's really cool thinking about it with like the Switch, and I'm gonna put simple clips up tomorrow, man, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the Switch in the upcoming weeks as I've gotten myself some time with it. And man, I'll talk about this video too, because I'm pretty satisfied with that product, and like very satisfied, like kind of impressed of how satisfied it was. As somebody who went in with 0 to low expectations on it. But we went from like the cartridge days where for the most part you just pop the cartridge in and it works. Sometimes you gotta blow on it even though that doesn't really work, but for the most part you pop the game and you're in there. Then we went to the install thing, right? And now if you're on PC, you're playing on your own kind of, obviously you're installing the game. That's a whole different world. But I'm talking about console space over here. You went like the memory pack route. That was like a thing there for a while, where we had memory cards, you know, and you know we had the awkward controller packs for the N64. The PlayStation obviously was based off that, and the cartridges would load faster, but the CDs were able to do different things back in the N64 PS1 era and whatnot. Yeah, the memory cards where you kind of bring your memory card to your boy's crib and like play stuff over there, and also get corrupted and lose all your stuff. So you actually didn't have anything in the system. System was literally just a shell to play your games, as it always been. Then it kind of operated to a little bit more where the systems had their own operating system. I think the Xbox may have been honestly the first one to kind of introduce that. You know, to a certain extent. I mean, like the GameCube had like there you go, like flip around the cube, but where you could actually like put music on and stuff. I think the Xbox kind of was a revolution in that regard. And then we kind of like, to me, it was eye-opening when I got to Grand Theft Auto 5. And I popped the game and excited to play it, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to play. And it's like, yo, you got to install it. Now, I hadn't read anything about it. It called me like a plea off. I was so confused. I popped the disc out for a second. I was like, hold up, what are we installing? What's going on? I seem like a 95-year-old man, you know. And I've played my fair share of computer games, mostly back in the day. You know, Diablo 2, Baldur's Gate 2. That was kind of my heyday. StarCraft, Age of Empires, Roller Coaster Tycoon. So I played my fair share of computer games, but none of these, you know, I'm not like playing computer games anymore or whatnot. So I'm not like in the loop of how things are playing right now. But the install like caught me so off guard. I was like, what? Am I doing something wrong? And then I waited, I remember, hours before I could like play the game, and I was like, well, this is just shitty. I was like, this is just like really crappy. And now the install is the norm, right? Like everything installs, obviously, and everything downloads, and everything gets patched, and everything gets updates. And then I get to the Nintendo Switch, and I put in Zelda, which is just a ridiculous game. I like how big it is, and how immersive it is, and how great it is. And that thing was instant. And the suspense mode is great in it, where like I literally just hit the power button, and boom, I'm back in the game. Like literally back in the game. You know, like I know the Xbox has a version where but it's still posterior OS, and then you go into the game. I'm pretty sure about that. Don't quote me 100% about that. I haven't done the Xbox on since I got the Switch, so I'm like not fresh on my mind. By the way, it's quick enough. I'm not really complaining about that, but the efficiency that the Switch does was like impressive, and I was like, whoa! I was like, that's how it used to be, right? Where you just get the game and you play it, like word. You know, and when you look at it, but even that's kind of changed in terms of the pricing model, which is how I got onto this initially, where I bought Zelda, but there's DLC, and I could buy like the pack, you know, or like the season pass or whatnot. So I bought the $60 game, you know, $300 console, but that's irrelevant at this point. But we bought the $60 game, then we're buying the season pass for it. Thankfully, there's no Michael DLC or anything for that. But Call of Duty, you're buying the game, you're buying the season pass, you're buying the Michael DLC now. It's a supply drops. You're buying some more maps after that. And I honestly, I feel like we'll see in the next Call of Duty, instead of ways to limit that and to give back to the community and to kind of go back to, you know, earning the trust of players and earning the goodwill of players, I think it'll be more. I think they'll top out a whole nother pricing structure where like, all right, man, so you bought the DLC, you bought the season pass, you bought the game. you bought the additional game. Like this year we had an additional one, right? With Modern Warfare Remastered. So it's like you gotta buy the additional game, and then you gotta buy the micro DLC, and you're gonna have to buy like a Call of Duty subscription thing to play every month online, like a data plan. Like I don't know how other way they could like extort any more money out of it. I feel like we're definitely going a lot further into that direction that we are into the, hey man, you know what, we're back to like the format season pass DLC, that's it, man, forget the supply drops. Little things are there to stay for good, and it's really up to you whether you want them or not, or really want to keep playing or not. I know for a fact, as long as the game's going to be in a decent setting, I'm going to buy the game, but that's about it.